We have to address what happened on the prelims because my man DC made some headlines. And I got to tell you, everyone coming up to me, are you going to talk about it? Are you going to ask him? Are you going to? Of course, we're going to talk about it. So tell us what happened. You and Jake Paul caught on camera in front of the world, like in broad daylight in the arena. Give me the story. How do you end up from the broadcast table to face with the problem child, Jake Paul? What happened?
So there are a lot of things that I can handle in my life. One is not like I feel like this guy being like that, disrespectful, talking in a way that I don't feel he would do to my face. I can't deal with that. So I was sitting at the table and somebody said, "Oh, Jake Paul's here." So I look behind me and he's like making faces at me and waving at me. He's like waving at me and making faces. I'm like, what in the world is happening? Like, what is happening?
In the middle of the broadcast.
Well, yeah, I was like, I'm 24. I'm like, this 24-year-old kid is like, he's heckling me.
Right.
He's heckling me. He's like a troll, but like a famous troll.
Mm.
So finally I got a break and I was like, hey, do I have a couple minutes? They were like, no. I said, guys, I need a few minutes real quick. And they said, okay, you got 2 minutes right now. My producer said you got 2 minutes. So I just got up and I went over there. And
you didn't tell them where you were going. You just said,
no,
I need 2
I just
minutes.
told them I needed a couple minutes.
Okay.
So I just went over there. Because again, like the whole time after he's doing that, I'm just in my mind, like it's all I can think about. Is like this guy's like being like so ridiculous. Like I need to tell him something. So I just walk over there and he kind of leans in like we're gonna have a conversation. And his hands are in his pocket. And I said, hey, I'm not gonna play your games. I go, don't mess with me. So I'm not a kid to play with like this. Like I'm not gonna be on the internet messing around and all this other stuff. I go, keep my name out of your mouth. And then the security came, and then he started to kind of, once the security and everybody got around, he started to play big boy a little bit, starts trying to point and do all that. But initially, he thought his hands are in his pocket, and he kind of leans in. And I said, I'm not going to play your game. I'm not going to fight. I said, you're going to get yourself hurt, like messing around. I'm not going to fight with you and play these public shenanigans. I go, keep my name out of your mouth. He said, well, you said my name first. And I'm like, don't play with me. I said, don't play with me. I'm not a kid to be messing with like that.
Were you ever close to slapping him?
I wanted to grab his face. I was going to grab him by the face, but I would have gotten in trouble by the UFC.
Right.
Because listen, a kid like that, you like when you alpha a kid like that. When people start making you alpha him, like I wanted to grab him by the face and smash him into the ground, but I can't do that at work. I would have gotten into a lot of trouble. So I just went over there and tried to have a conversation with the kid. And then, the security comes and all that. And he's like, well, sign the contract. I'm like, come on. Sign the contract. What are you talking about, sign the contract? What contract are you referring to?
This Holocaust
contract. What is that? Sign the contract. What are you talking about?
Can you tell me your side of the DC confrontation? Obviously, I've heard his side now. What happened from your perspective? And what did you say to him? What did he say to you from your perspective?
Yeah, so I'm sitting, we get to the seats, and of course I'm sitting like directly behind the commentator's booth, and the crowd like sees me, starts chanting Jake Paul, and DC turns around and like sees me, and he's like staring like right at me, like looking like he's like pissed off, and he like mouths something to me, and I'm just like looking at him like, okay, cool, like whatever. And then there's like a break after the fight, and I see him like take his headphones off and come like charging at me, like fast paced walk. And like before he gets face to face with me, he's like, this isn't a game. This isn't a game. You better not disrespect me. You better not disrespect me or I'm going to punk you. Keep my name out of your mouth. And I think his goal was to like scare me or intimidate me, he came up, all macho and like fast and violently and like put his finger like right in his face. And I was just like, okay, guy, like you're not scary. You're 5'8" and chunky boy. And I think when he realized like, bro, I'm not intimidated by you at all. Like we can run it right now. Like if you want to do something, do it right now. And I basically said, my immediate response was, you put my name into your mouth first, which is a fact. So for him to come up to me and be like, keep my name out of your mouth, keep my name out of your mouth. And then for me to be like, bro, you talked about me first, which is very, very true. He after the Ben Askren press conference, tweeted, Ben is for sure going to win. I saw the way Jake reacted when he got mushed in the face or something along those lines. That's the first time he talked about me. Then you guys talked about me again on your show multiple times, talked about me the week of the fight, talked about me after the fight, saying, oh, that was embarrassing for Ben, da, da, da. I forget what else he said, but then I tweeted him like, all right, bro, then you represent the MMA community. Like, let's fight. If you're so big, bad, and tough and blah, blah, blah. So that's the only time I mentioned him. And I think that really upset him because I called him a fat boy. And that's when he came up to me and was like, keep your name out of my mouth. I was like, you talked about me first, bro. And if you say, he also said he's going to slap me when he sees me. He said, if I ever see Jake Paul, I'm going to slap him. I'm going to slap him in the face. And then he sees me, I'm right there, arm's length. And he does nothing. Like it's funny. It's funny to me. And I saw, he said something about like, oh, I couldn't have beat him up because I was at work and I would have gotten in trouble. Like, bro, are you about your, or are you not about your? Dana White wouldn't have done anything if you wanted to lay hands on me. You had your chance and you bitched out, and it's embarrassing, and you're an embarrassment, and you're not a man of your word. And